Hello, my name is Maria, and welcome to today's training on 5 Microsoft integrations for better project management. Today, I'm excited to be talking to you about what other tools you can be integrating into your project channels. We're going to start with looking at Word, Excel, PDFs, and Visio to look at how you can be integrating them into your Microsoft Teams channel. From there, we're going to go into the why, what's behind all of this, why take the time to do this, and then we're going to jump straight into a demo where you'll get to see this in action. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what else can you be using with Microsoft Teams? There are lots of different other applications that integrate with Microsoft Teams, and we've actually touched on quite a few of them. We've talked on Power BI, we've talked about Project for the web, Planner, OneNote. All of these tools have great integration with Microsoft Teams, helping you keep everything in a collaborative space. But there's more. You can be doing more in order to better manage your projects and help your team out in your projects. So there are 5. I know there's only 4 icons here, but the first 4 icons help us get a good picture of the items that we're going to be looking at today. So first off, there's PowerPoint. PowerPoint does actually integrate with Microsoft Teams. So if you have a PowerPoint that you want to be sharing with your team or with your company and organization, you can. There is integration available where you can make it a more collaborative, friendly space for everybody to be able to jump in and work together. Excel also has integration with Microsoft Teams. Excel can integrate with a tab. You can have everybody editing through Microsoft Teams and Excel report. If you wanted to have them have the ability to see any updates you make, you can be doing that too. But it helps keep everything in a central location. You can also integrate Visio. Visio diagrams and workflows can be put into Microsoft Teams channels so that your team can have a better idea of what process they're following with your projects. Another one is Word. Word can be used in order to integrate with Microsoft Teams to help you keep everything for everybody where they need it when they need it. You can be keeping this all in a central location within your channel for your projects or for your organization. Using these tools will help you better track your projects, but it will also help you manage your team with your projects. Because if they can easily find the documents they need for the projects, it'll be less time for you having to help them find it, and they'll be able to jump into the tasks a lot faster than they were before. The last one that we don't see right here is PDFs. You can actually integrate PDFs with Microsoft Teams as well. PDFs are great for informational purposes so that you can be tracking, for example, the original details of your project. They also can be used so that everybody else has them as well, but are not making changes to the original documents. You can use PDFs and integrate it with Microsoft Teams so that everybody has all of the files they need in one location. So, why take the time to do this? Why take the time to use these tools in Microsoft Teams? Why not just leave them in the document library for everybody to access? Well, first off, as we've said in the past slide, it keeps everything in one place. The more you keep everything in one location for your team, the less time they're going to be spending hunting down documents to get their jobs done. So if you keep everything in the document library, you're promoting a collaborative hub for your projects where everybody knows where everything is. On top of that, if you go the further step of integrating these tools into Microsoft Teams, it saves the time spent hunting through those document libraries. If your project has a lot of documents associated to it, then what's going to happen is people are going to go into the document libraries for the projects, and they're going to have to spend time finding the right file that they need. But if you start utilizing some of the integration with Microsoft Teams, it cuts down on the amount of time that they're spending hunting for these documents, especially if it's a document that's universal to the team. Everybody needs it, so that everybody should be able to quickly find it. Next, it allows for simpler onboarding. When you're getting a new person on your team for a project, and you have to show them all of the little nooks and crannies in order to find the documents, that takes time. So if you have everything in one place and the main documents integrated into the Microsoft Teams channel, it makes a simpler onboarding process for any new people, and it leaves them with less questions than they would normally have when they're just starting on your team. Next, it also promotes team collaboration. We want our teams working together because when everybody works together, it promotes a happier team atmosphere. It helps everybody be in the know of what's going on, and everybody feels like they're able to participate. And that's what we want to promote when it comes to our teams. So when we have all of this integration set up for our projects from the beginning, we then can help everybody have a smoother transition into starting this project, continuing the project, and finishing and closing it out. Lastly, you can then access these documents from anywhere. If these documents are integrated into Microsoft Teams and users have the Teams app on their cell phones, they can then go into Microsoft Teams and get the file they need when they need it. If they don't have access to a laptop or if the laptop suddenly crashes, this does not mean they have to stop work. They can continue, they don't have to be at a stop workage just because something happened or internet is gone. They have their phones. They will then be able to access those documents from wherever they need them. And if you're making that effort to keep everything off your desktop and put into Microsoft Teams, you can then see your documents from any laptop that you need to. There are security measures if your company needs a little more security than access anything from anywhere. There are security measures that can be taken and implemented into your organization. If you're interested in learning more about that, feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to assist you. Let's just jump right into the demo. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my Microsoft Teams environment. Right now, as I'm sure you've seen in different webinars, we are in the Project Management Teams demo team. This team is split out into several different channels to represent the different phases in a project. Some people choose to go about managing their projects in a Microsoft team differently. This is the standard best practice of what we would recommend to kind of blanket everybody. However, different projects require different approaches. For today, we're going to stick with the standard plan of having a planning, development, testing, and deployment phase, all split out into different channels, on top of having a general channel. The general channel is the standard out-of-the-box channel that comes with every Microsoft team. So we're going to head straight into the planning phase. In the planning phase of our project, we have a lot of different documents that we need to be tracking. All of our documents in this scenario are stored in the Files tab of this channel. So we can see here we're in the Planning channel. We're going to go up to Files. So here we have all of our project-related documents. We have our email messages that were emailed to the channel. We have our project-related documents, and we have a network diagram here that's been made in Visio. We're going to just jump straight into the project-related documents. So in the project-related documents here, there are some key documents that I want to make sure my team has easy access to in our channel. For example, we want to have easy access to the milestone roadmap. That is crucial to our project, and I want to make sure everybody is tracking it. We also have the network diagram. The network diagram is something that is important to the project, and I don't want people changing it. So I have a choice here of posting our Visio diagram, or I could do a PDF. But because I don't want them making changes to it often, I'm going to use the PDF so that anytime they take a look at it, it will be the solidified version and they won't be making changes to that one. Next, I'm going to post the brainstorming session here because the brainstorming session is supposed to be with everybody. Everybody is going to be part of this brainstorming, and I want everybody to see the changes that are made as they're being made. I also want them to try and participate, and if they can participate, that would be great. If not, they'll all still have it in view with the Teams channel. Lastly, I'm going to post the professional services business plan. This is going to be posted in the channel as well so that everybody can take a look at it, make tweaks, review it as peers, and be able to get copies or open it up in their Word app whenever they need to. So one crucial detail to integrating all of these different files into your Teams channel is that if you're going to do this, if you're going to complete the next steps that we're going to proceed with, make sure your documents are in the channel first. If I want to implement the network diagram PDF or the milestone roadmap, these have to be in my channel first. If they're not in my channel, I cannot add them to the tab. So let's get started with that. Now that I know what documents I'm going to put into my channel, I'm going to go ahead and click the plus button here on my tabs. Once I click the plus button, we're going to get a lot of different apps available here. What I'm going to start with first is my PDF. I want them to see the PDF first before anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and select the PDF app here for a tab. What's going to happen is that it's going to look through my planning channel and the documents in my planning channel here. And now I can dive into my documents here. So I can go into the project related documents. Notice anything that isn't a PDF is unavailable to select. So all I have is my network diagram and my professional services business plan. I want to grab my network diagram. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to post to the channel about it so they know this is a tab. And I'm going to add the tab name. In this case, I want it to say network diagram. I'm going to select save. Once this is done loading, we now have a view of our network diagram. And anytime I want to go back to it, all I have to do is select this tab. So if I'm going into my project online schedule here, and if I'm going in to make changes, but I wanted to refer to my network diagram, all I now have to do is go to the far right of my tabs, click the drop arrow, and then see the network diagram. For something that doesn't have so many tabs as this planning, I wouldn't necessarily need to hit the drop down arrow. As you expand your channel and as you add more things, things are going to get a little longer. The list is going to get a little longer and you'll have more options. Either way, even if you do have a lot of tabs in your channel, that's not a problem. It just means you have a lot of core details that you're tracking. When you add channels or tabs to your channel, it is good to ask, is this really necessary? Maybe it's not. Maybe finding the file for that certain item is going to be worth the little extra time it takes. Or maybe this is something that you want to make sure nobody misses. And by having it in the tab, you make it easily accessible to your entire team. Now we're going to go ahead and add the Word file. We want to make sure that everybody has access to the business plan here. So again, I'm going to click that plus button. Now I'm going to go into the Word app. Again, it's going to inspect my planning files. I'm going to go to project related documents and I'm going to find my Word document. There's the professional services business plan. Before I click save, remember to change the name of your tab. You can change it later. If I go ahead and click save and it saves it as Word, I can rename it by right clicking the tab, selecting rename, and going to and updating the name. Make sure to give recognizable names and try not to be redundant either. The more recognizable the names are, the simpler it'll be to navigate between tabs. So here it's currently loading, but you can see that it is loading the business plan for my professional services team. Because this is a template, some of the formatting does not carry over to Microsoft Teams. If the formatting is crucial to what you're editing, you can go ahead and select Open in the Desktop app here in the ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and select that so you can see what this looks like with the template in the Word application. So here we have our professional services business plan. I can go in and make changes here, or I can go back to Microsoft Teams and I can choose to continue here, even though the formatting doesn't necessarily carry over. Since that's not what I'm editing in this document, I don't have to worry about it. All I have to do is scroll down to what I do know. So I can go in here, I can change the table of contents, I can update it. I can scroll down here so we can go into the introduction and I can actually go ahead and make changes to it. So if I wanted to start rewriting this content, I could. Now again, this is a Microsoft template, so some of the things are not available to edit right off the bat. But if I wanted to, I could go in instead of saying marketing focus, I could just say marketing. For the executive summary, I could update it to say the, the executive summary should be written last, and we will wait till the end to write it. This allows me to edit it in Microsoft Teams. So if I don't have the Word application on my laptop, I can actually be making changes here. I can also scroll down, make changes to any document. If I wanted to send any of my team the link to this document, all I have to do now is select Copy Link, and I can send them the link to this document here that's in the tab. So now though, instead of having to go into Files and open it up, I can go for my project schedule, whether it's in Project Online, Project for the Web, and instead I can now move into, drop down here, Professional Services Business Plan, which will allow me to go in and quickly start making changes or just review the existing plan. Next thing that we can add is an Excel document. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click the plus button. Pretty simple here. It's the same amount of steps, whether it is an Excel document, a Word document. I can go into Excel. It's going to let me choose the Excel document. But again, it's letting me have quick access to the most crucial documents to my project. It makes things simpler for them to have and simpler for you to make sure they're updating. So if I wanted to go and grab the milestone roadmap, all I have to do is select it. I'm going to post to the channel about this, and I'm going to select Save. So now here, as the milestones are progressing for my project, I can have everybody go in here and make updates to the milestones. It has the same ribbon in Excel. You can do all that you need to do here. I can go into Insert, I can draw, I can go into my page layout. I can go into my data, my formulas, I can make whatever changes I need to in this Excel document without having to open it in the Excel app. If I feel more comfortable in the Excel app, I can absolutely open it. All I have to do is select Open in Desktop App. Next, we're going to look at the Visio diagram. So I'm going to go ahead and again, click that plus button. We're going to go here into Visio, select the Visio app, and it's going to go through our planning channel, same steps as before. Now we want to go into our project-related documents and grab our brainstorming session. Now Visio is a little different because Visio is not intended to be a collaborative working space, meaning it's not intended to have multiple people editing it at one time. So it's going to show me my Visio diagram, but then I need to choose the option to edit it. If I want to edit it, I need to select that edit button, and then it's going to tell me whether or not I can edit it here. This one's been built in the Visio desktop application. Therefore, I have to open it in the desktop application. But when I am done, it will save to the channel. And so any changes I make will then be represented in the document when somebody else opens it. Now I could go in and I can make changes. So if I said marketing exploration and I changed it to expectations, I click save. We can see that it's saved by the quick flash right there. Exit. Now I can exit here. It's going to reload. And I'm going to refresh it one more time. There it goes. And instead of exploration, you will see immediately expectations. The last document I'm going to be integrating with you today is a PowerPoint. But again, I just want to make the comment, if I go to anywhere else here, now in order to access my Visio file, all I have to do is select the Visio tab. You can see I forgot to rename it. So if I'm going to go ahead and do that now, I'm going to right click, select rename, and I'm going to say Project Brainstorming Session. And select Save. Now we can go into the last document, the PowerPoint. PowerPoints can be great to have in your Teams channels because sometimes people need access to what you're trying to present, the goal, or what you're intending to present when the project is finished. Other times it's just good to have for onboarding purposes to get everyone up to speed. I'm going to go ahead and again press that plus tab. Grab my PowerPoint app right here and go into my project related documents. Now I can grab my IT project presentation, select Save, and there is my PowerPoint. Something to note when it comes to these documents. Everything other than the PDF and Visio can be edited with multiple people at the same time. So if multiple people were wanting to work collaboratively together, they could all use the Teams application and make changes together, whether it's a Word document, Excel document, or a PowerPoint. Again, this can't be done with a PDF or a Visio, but that's how they're built to be. One last thing I'd like to show you today before the end of today's webinar is that you can do this all with a chat as well as a channel. So if you have a group chat going on with your coworkers, I'm going to go ahead and click chat, go into my chat here, and I actually have some Excel documents. So if I wanted to have a tab that we could all be accessing to work in this Excel document together in this group chat, all I have to do is click the plus button and click Excel. Because I've shared these files with them previously, I can actually go ahead and open up one of these as a tab. So if I wanted to do the sales forecast tracker, same thing as we did before. I did forget to give the tab a name, but again, we can always just rename it. Oh, looks like I have a chance. And I can select Save. Now we can all work as a group on this document. So if I didn't necessarily have a channel that I can be posting this information to, I can go ahead and just create a group chat. If you don't know how to create a group chat, here's what you do. I'm going to go up to my chat button here and I'm going to click the plus button. And now I can enter whoever I need to for my group. So if I wanted to add Sarah Davis, if I wanted to add Jan, and I could continue to do this with as many people as I needed to. And then we have a group chat going on. Now, group chats can be productive. They can also sometimes be a little counterproductive. So use caution whenever you're building them. But they are great for communication and keeping everyone connected and making sure that everybody has an opportunity to collaborate on your projects. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining us on this training today. Today we were able to look at Word, PDF, PowerPoint, and more that you can be integrating into your Microsoft Teams channels. We got to look at the why behind it and then the reality of what that looks like. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're so excited that you joined us today, and we'll see you next time.